So what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and this is the BLU Life One X. This is an extraordinary budget smartphone, from my personal opinion, but we're going to get into this full review right now. The first half of the review is going to be an objective standpoint, so all the facts and learning about the phone, where I try to not give as much opinions. And then the second half of the review is going to be all my personal experiences and telling you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and we're going to finish this review off with a who is it for, and there's going to be categories of people I think it falls into. So if you guys want to see everything you need to know about the BLU Life One X, this is your review, so go ahead and customize your experience down below. Let's get into it right now. Let's go.
So kicking off this review, the BLU Life One X comes with a 5.2-inch Full HD display that is 1080p, and it is of the IPS quality. Going around to the sides of the device, you can see that the BLU Life One X does hold its viewing angles quite well here. So it is able to be seen on multiple axes and axes. Now let's look at the display quality up close so you can just see the level of detail that you can expect to receive on the Life One X. So the Life One X comes with a 5 megapixel front-facing camera at the top and a flash as well on the Life One X. Going on to the bottom of the display, you're going to find the BLU logo, which is going to shine a little bit. It is of the chrome nature, so it does shine just a bit here. Also on the side, you're going to find yourself some antenna lines here. And you will also go down and find yourself a volume rocker. This is the right side of the device. And you will also find yourself the power switch right here. Now those are rubber buttons, they are not metal. And there is the antenna line as well, and there is nothing right there. Going off to the power buttons, you can see there is some chrome trim around those rubber buttons as well though. Going off to the other side, which is the left side, you will find nothing on the BLU Life One X. Going off to the top of the device, you are going to find yourself a 3.5mm headset jack and just kind of that plastic aluminum feel at the top. Going down to the bottom of the device, you're going to find yourself a micro USB charging slot, and there is nothing else along the borders of the bottom of the BLU Life One X. On the back side, you're going to find yourself that 13 megapixel camera with an LED flash to the right of the device. Going down just a little bit more, you're going to find that BLU logo, which is coated in chrome. And we also have a faux leather back, which feels similar to the Note devices of the past. Going down to the bottom, you're going to find yourself the speaker cutouts where the speaker rests. If you flip the device over just a little bit, you're going to find this little slot where you can open and peel the back of the device off. All right, so on the back of the device, you are going to see that we do have support for dual SIM. So we have SIM 1 right here and SIM 2 over here. Also, we do have the micro SD card slot, which is compatible up to 64 gigabytes. Also, this is a soldered in 2900 milliamp hour battery here on the BLU Life One X, which you cannot take out of the device.
All right, so how about the feel in the hand and the build quality of the BLU Life One X? Well, it's a pretty tall phone. It is a skinny and light phone. It does have Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, and it is pretty sturdy. Although I did hear some creaks on the device from the back from time to time, which does remind you that this is still a budget device. I don't know if other people have had this issue, but this does creak, and it kind of reminds me of the old Samsung Galaxy S3s, where sometimes it would feel solid, and then sometimes it would just go or creak or something, and it reminds you, well, I kind of want a more premium phone. Now, I don't know if other people are having the same issue, but I noticed this on this Blue. But overall, the build quality feels really nice in the hand and very lightweight here. And I don't think you're gonna have any problems in terms of sturdiness of this device.
So getting into software on the BLU Life One X, you're gonna find a very stock-like Android experience, very vanilla-like, very Nexus-like. So going into About Device, you're going to see that we are running, in fact, Android 5.1 Lollipop, which is not the latest, but BLU did promise that they are going to bring Android 6.0 Marshmallow to the Life One X before the end of Q1. So we'll see if they live up to their promise. Also, they included a few apps within here, such as the Amazon apps, the BLU Help app, and a couple little things here and there. Nothing too big, but these are uninstallable, which is a nice touch, so you don't have to have those apps on there if you want. So it's pretty much bare bones Android here, but there are some special features which we are going to get into in a little bit. They did include the Opera browser as well as some messaging theming going on. So this is not the stock Android messaging application. It is a little bit themed out here. And they did include the multitasking switch killer, which clears all of the apps so you don't have to go one by one, which is a nice touch. So getting into these special features, if we hop over into setting, you can see that we do have the Smart Awake and Smart Gesture, but let's get into the Smart Awake, and you can see we have the music player, the camera, the flashlight, and the lock, which all have their own special shortcuts that we are going to display here right this moment. So the first one is going to be the double tap to open the device. So basically like LG's not code, which is not a bad thing, and double tap to close the device. So that's the first feature. The second one is going to be write an M on the lock screen to open up music, which is also a nice touch here. And locking the device, we're going to do one more here, and this is an O, where this is going to open up the flashlight of the device. Also, if you put a C, this is going to open the camera of the BLU Life One X. BLU also decided to include a flashlight within the notification tray, as well as a power saving and audio profile modes here on the Life One X. Hopping into settings, we are going to go check out some other smart gesture settings here, and you can see that we do have the double click to lock the screen and pocket mode. We also have unlock with the power button, and we also have a couple other modes here, flip to silent and flip to snooze here on the BLU Life One X. Also, if we hop over into settings, you can go into the display and you can see that there is this mirror vision feature, which is essentially tweaking your display to whatever you like to have your display like. So you can adjust the contrast levels, you can adjust the picture levels, the brightness, and all such things here. So how do you do this? Well, you go into this hamburger bar up at the top left hand corner. You can see you have picture mode here, which is very similar to what you find on Samsung devices, as well as contrast modes, but you get to go a little more in depth here than you do on Samsung devices. And you will see you have brightness and all other kinds of color temperature and other things here that you can just play with and get to display completely right to your heart's content here on the BLU Life One X. Also, we do have a power saving mode here, and if we scroll down a little bit more in display settings, we do have navigation bar. You can switch around these controls at the bottom, so if you didn't like them one way, you could switch it the other way. So that is another touch here that BLU included within the settings application. Also, if you go into the settings and you go down to the sound and notification, there are some sound enhancements that BLU did include within this device, such as the audio enhancer for the earphone, the volume booster for the speaker, and the audio surround sound for movie and music modes, lossless Bluetooth mode as well here on the BLU Life One X. The BLU Life One X also includes scheduled power on and off, so you can see you can schedule when to turn the device on and when to turn the device off, which is a nice touch here on the BLU Life One X. You don't see that in other Android phones. Also, they have a standby intelligent power saving mode, but we're going to talk more about battery later on. What about that case that's included in the box of the BLU Life One X? Well, it is of leather material, And you can close it to reveal the time. And if you swipe over, you will see that you can play your music directly from that case that is included within the BLU Life One X. Also, if you do receive text notifications, if you open it, you can open it. But if you do receive text notifications, you will see them right there. And if you get calls, you will also receive the calls there as well. What about those earphones? So the earphones that come in the box do not have included earbuds. The buds that are on there are the ones you're stuck with, but they do include an inline mic here on those audio earphones they include. The screen protector I did not put on the device, but it is a free screen protector because the BLU Life One X does have Gorilla Glass 3. Now let's get into the internals of the device under CPU-Z. You will see that we do have an octa-core MediaTek 1.3 gigahertz A53 octa-core CPU, which is a 64-bit processor here with 2 gigabytes of RAM and a Mali T720 GPU. Going over to the device settings, you're going to see this is 425 pixels per inch, 5.18 inches or 5.2 inches with 2 gigs of RAM. Internal storage 10.80 gigabytes after all the installed software on this 16 gigabyte device. So how does that all translate to the real world? So just check out this example right here. We're going to hop into some apps and you can see this is actually how the device performs in terms of the speed. You can see we're hopping into the calendar, coming back out, going into the clock, coming back out, going into the context, coming back out, going into Pulse, coming back out, going into Amazon. And you see the app did hang a bit there. So it does hang from time to time on the BLU Life One X. Going into Chrome, you can see that we are going to go into YouTube and check out this website right here. Flip it over to the side and see how this scrolls through, and you see there is a bit of a hang there as well. So there is some hanging here on the BLU Life One X. Not too bad, but you can see this is how it's going to perform in the real world here. We went into the Play Store. Here's some multitasking. Let's go back into calculator, come back out, go back into settings, come back out of there. Let's go ahead and clear all of these. And yeah, so let's check out that front facing camera. Hello there. And you can see, let's close that out. Now let's look at the actual scores. Geekbench scores, single core 626 and 2868 on the multi-core. Not the highest scores in the world, but in the real world, we've seen how it performed. Going into settings, you can see we're now gonna check out the storage of the device. I had 9.53 gigabytes out of the box with this device, but it is a 16 gigabyte, but you should have plenty of space to put your applications, as you can change the write disk to the SD card. So you can actually put the applications from the phone that you get on the Play Store right onto the SD card. So if you guys want to know that, there you go.
All right, guys, so this is a big one that I'm sure that you are asking questions about. How is the speaker quality on the BLU Life One X? And since we are still in this first objective half of the review, I'm not going to give my opinions. Why don't you guys just check it out for yourself right now?
So what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to this video unboxing of the BLU Life One X. Now, first of all, I picked this up on Amazon right here for 149 bucks. I mean, for this deal, it looks kind of like an iPhone. I mean, I just had to go ahead and get it, and that's
So getting into the camera section of the device, you can see that you can open the camera on the BLU Life One X from the lock screen. And going into the camera itself, this is a feature-rich camera here. So you do have the record button here, the camera button, and the viewfinder here. You have the front-facing switch button here. You can go ahead and go into the flash, and you can turn on the torch. You can have auto flash on or just turn it on here. You also have several modes here. You have panorama, night, professional, HDR, dual view here. As you can see, you can take a dual view shot of the front and the rear, similar to Samsung and LG features. Also, you do have a manual mode, which is called professional in here, where you can change your ISO levels, your white balance. You can also change your exposure, and you could change things such as the color saturation. Also, if you go into settings here, you can see you do have normal, face beauty, and sports here. Going into the settings, you do have touch shutter, but we're gonna go ahead and turn on normal so we can show you this. Going into settings, if you hit touch shutter, you can just touch the screen and take a shot. So a really quick and easy camera to use here. You also have smile shot, shutter sound, GPS location, a self timer, which goes all the way up to 10 seconds, picture guide, which shows you picture level grid lines, as well as a 13 megapixel camera and a 10 megapixel camera. You need to shoot in 10 megapixels to get the 16:9 aspect ratio. Video quality comes in fine, 1080p, 720p, and 480p modes here. Now let's go ahead and bring in the BLU Life One X box here and take a shot here just to show you the kind of quality you can get here. But we are going to show you more camera samples here in just a bit. But you can see the camera does fire off shots pretty quickly here, but you be the judge of that yourself. You do not have a burst mode though, so you cannot hold it down in the stock camera. Going over to the front camera, hello there, you also have wide selfie, you have face beauty, normal mode, and dual mode. Also, you do have settings similar to the back camera on the front here, but you do have the face mirror there on the front camera. You can also turn the torch on and take shots with that torch at nighttime to lighten up your face if it is too dark. So check out these camera samples now.
Alright guys, so this is a rear camera test of the BLU Life One X in the daytime at 720p. As you can see, I am walking and getting close on some subjects here. Now we're a little bit more still, but you can kind of see the quality that you're going to get in the daytime on 720p standard HD from your BLU Life One X. Alright guys, now this is 1080p HD, the full HD resolution on the BLU Life One X video recording. As you can see, we're getting close up on this flower, and you can see the breeze. But this is basically what you're going to be able to expect here from the BLU Life One X. Alright guys, so this is the 720p recording on the BLU Life One X from the rear camera. Audio is coming from the phone itself. Alright guys, so this is the 1080p from the BLU Life One X, and this is coming from the phone itself. Alright guys, so this is the front-facing camera quality video recording on the BLU Life One X. 1080p, so this is full HD with moderate lighting. I'm here in Lincoln Park, Chicago, Illinois. You can see street lights and buildings, but you can see, you know, it's not the greatest in the world, but you can still see pretty well here at night. So this is the front-facing camera, 1080p. Alright guys, now this is that same front-facing camera video recording, but this time we are in 720p. So this is regular standard HD, and you can see this is the kind of quality you're going to get here on your BLU Life One X at nighttime. So that's just a little sample there. Like I say, not the best quality in the world, but it should suffice for most of you guys. Alright guys, so this is the front facing camera utilizing that flash once again, but this time we are on 1080p HD. So this is full HD from the front. You guys can judge for yourself what you think of the video quality on this device itself. And yeah, we'll go over to the next scene right now. Alright guys, so this is the front facing camera of the BLU Life One X in 720p HD. That would be standard HD for the BLU Life One X. Now we're going to switch over to 1080p for the BLU Life One X. Alright guys, so this is the front facing camera. This is 1080p on the BLU Life One X. This is the full HD resolution that you are going to receive on this device right here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comments.
So getting into the call quality of the BLU Life One X, you can see that we do have, an unlocked phone here that supports pretty much all the bands, and I had no trouble hearing others, and others had no trouble hearing me, and the speaker phone sounded okay as well. Now let's get into gaming on the device, and playing Leo's Journey here proved to be no problem whatsoever here on the BLU Life One X. Also, we're going to do another game here right after Leo's Journey, which is going to be Asphalt Nitro. Not the graphically intensive game of all time, but it is going to show you that we can handle some racing games here as well on the BLU Life One X here with that Mali T270 GPU here on the BLU Life One X. You can see we're racing just fine, no hiccups, and the BLU Life One X will just tear through these casual games such as Temple Run that you are seeing being displayed right here on the BLU Life One X. Alright guys, so getting into the battery life section of the BLU Life One X, you're going to see that we do have some intelligent power saving modes, but in terms of the actual battery life, I have been only averaging around 3 to 4 hours on screen time from 100 to 0%, and I've had actually a bit of a struggle going through a full day with this device, but that's just my personal experience. And also it does take about 3 hours to 4 hours to charge in my experience here, but that is just what I've experienced as reviewing. But you can get yourself an external battery pack to help you get through the day if you do have a little bit of troubles with the BLU Life One X, but most light to moderate users will not have any troubles making it through a full day with the BLU Life One X here in terms of the battery life.
All right guys, so let's do a pocket test of the BLU Life One X. Now I know this is not the biggest phone in the world, but a lot of people want to know, how does this phone fit in my pocket? Now this is a pretty lanky and tall phone. Give me just a second. We already showed this earlier, but the ZTE Z Max 2 is a good comparison because it's the 5.5-inch screen right here. And let's just put this off to the side, but you can see that the BLU Life One X going into the pocket is going to take up some space. Not for me because I have really big jeans and I'm a taller person. But if you're one of those people that wear those skinnier jeans or tighter jeans, you might notice that the BLU Life One X is going to stick out like that. So you might see the camera hump, or if you got it this way, you might see your retina flash, or not retina flash, but your flash from the front. Going off to the backside pockets, you can see slipping into the backside pockets, it'll go right in there as well. But all I have to do is pull it out just a little bit to see the phone right there. So in terms of the lightness of it though, it's extremely light and you're not going to notice too much of a bulge in terms of thickness, lightness. It's a very comfortable feel in the pocket, but like I say, it's a pretty long phone, so it might stick out just a tad bit. So that's the pocket test on the BLU Life One X. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the end of the objective half of the review of the BLU Life One X. We covered pretty much everything you need to know about the phone itself, and I tried to do my best to not throw in my biases and my opinions in that first half. So if you just wanted to learn about the phone, you just wanted to get a little gist of what it's all about, and you might have already been convinced this is the phone I want, and you might be out of here already. But if you're still here, now we're going to head over into the subjective half of the review. So for all of you guys who are leaving, go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for the rest of you who are going to stick around to hear my personal experiences, absolutely everyone's favorite part is to talk about what they think about it, because we all like to talk about our interests. So we'll see you on the other side of this review, and I'll see you soon. All right, guys, so let's kick off this, more of my personal experiences. So the first thing I want to talk about is my negative aspects, and the first one on the list is this creaky back. Now, I can tell you right now, this does feel really nice. It does feel very Note 4-like, but there is some creak on this device. I've been hearing it from day to day, and there's some spots where you can actually push in and you can hear creaks. Now, I know we can always go back to the price, $150, $150. How are you going to complain about the back? But like I say, that's why we're doing this, personal opinions. We want to let you know everything you need to know about this device so you're not disappointed when you pick it up. So my first complaint on this device for my negatives is going to be the creaky back. They could have made this a little bit better build because the ZTE Z Max 2, for example, is another plastic phone on the back, and it has no creaks. So I'm not digging that. So Blue, if you're hearing this review, fix your creaky backness. All right, everybody. So for my second negative of this phone is going to be the battery life. Now, I know it does come with a 2900 milliamp hour battery, but this is going to be a struggle for power users. I'm telling you right now, this phone is not for power users. If you think you're going to get, 6, 7, 8 hours on screen time, you're not going to get it with this phone. And actually, I think it's because of that 1080p display. It is sucking the battery life. But I'm averaging around 3 to 4 hours on screen time. Now, a light user might be able to eke out 5, but we're talking if you're not doing video, you're not playing games, you're not multitasking, you're just doing light tasks, you will easily get through the day. But I'm coming from a power user perspective. You're not going to like the battery life on here, and it does take about 4 hours to charge from my personal experience from 0 to 100. It's really slow, and it's only slow if you're comparing it to like the fast charging of today, but it's 2016 and we have fast charging, so that's why we're comparing it to that. But yeah, battery life, even with this power saving mode you have here, doesn't really help it too much. Overall, it's just not that great of a battery, but like I say, it will get you through the full day if you're a moderate to light user. It's not a horrible battery by no means, but if you're a power user, once again, if you use it heavily, this is not going to make it through the day for you. And you might have to wait like 4 hours to charge your device. All right, guys, another negative is this proximity sensor. When I was making calls, a lot of times the proximity sensor on here would not activate and I would actually end calls. This happened pretty frequently, and actually it's gotten to a point where I'm kind of just, plugging in headphones to make calls on here. So that was kind of annoying for me, and that's my personal experience. Yours, BLU Life One X, might not do this, but mine did. Also, the speaker on the back is just straight up garbage. It's probably one of the worst speakers that I've ever heard on any smartphone that I've ever had, and I'm not even kidding you. This is one of the worst speakers I've ever heard on any phone. I think even my Motorola Razr, yes, my flip phone had a louder speaker than this. So I don't know what is up with that, but they need to get with it there. I also got some more negatives here. It feels choppy overall. So it's not the butteriest smoothest. Like, you notice some hangs and some glitches here and there. And although it is very fast, it's not slow phone. It's fast. It's very fast. Opens things up. I noticed some glitches and some hangs here and there, and I've never been able to. This is reality, like from my perspective. In reality, when I was watching YouTube, I've never been able to watch a full YouTube video without this thing glitching through the video. So the video would be like smooth for like 4 minutes, and then we get a little glitch or a hang. So I think that might be due to the Wi-Fi signal. I found that the Wi-Fi signal strengths on the BLU Life One X was not that great overall. And yeah, so that's another negative of this phone. All right, guys, so let's talk about the positives of this phone. So the screen quality. The screen quality on this device is amazing. And the price of this device is amazing. Don't get me wrong, we did talk about the negatives, but we are talking about the positives now. The build quality and the feel in hand overall for the price point just feels very nice. I mean, every time I pick it up, I feel like this phone is great value for money. Although the back did creak sometimes, it doesn't happen too often where it's annoying. Like, if you don't press on it, you're not gonna feel the creaks. Also, the storage space. It has plentiful storage, up to 64 gigs, like I mentioned earlier, on the micro SD cards. So that's nice there. The Gorilla Glass ensures me that I don't have to use that greasy screen protector that BLU includes on all of their devices.
So I like the fact that they put Gorilla Glass here. Also, the included case in the box is pretty nice. It's kind of like those S-View flip covers. Also, I like all the additions to Android. Those, camera shortcuts. And the camera I thought was going to be a huge downfall of this device. But this is the part that, shocked me the most. The camera on the front and the back have been very enjoyable. So overall, I think there is more positives than negatives on this device. But let's find out who this device exactly is for in this final section of this review.
All right, guys, so thank you for sticking around for this review. Now we're going to get into these final section of the device. Who is this device for? What we're going to do is break this down into 5 categories of people that I personally feel that this device is for. Now, if you find yourself falling to any of these 5 categories, then this is a device that you shouldn't even think twice about and go ahead and pick it up. So let's get into the 5 categories right now. Okay, person 1. This device is for this person who does not want to spend $600, $700, $800, but wants a phone that feels premium and works like a premium device. This will be person number 1. So if you fall into that category, this BLU Life One X will treat you just fine. So for the second person, do you value over prestige? So are you a person who cares more per se about the value that you get for your device over having Apple on the back or Samsung or LG or Huawei, or just having the prestige of the name brand? If you're a person who does not give 2 shits about having Apple or Samsung or LG or Huawei or any top tier flagship, Xiaomi, or I don't know exactly how you say that. That's a more of an international phone. But you get the gist. If you value more over, just dropping $800 to have the more premium name brand, then this phone will be a great phone for you, and you will fall into this category. Don't even think twice about it. Go pick up the BLU Life One X. Person number 3, are you a person who just loves stock vanilla Android, but you don't want to spend a lot of money to get stock vanilla Android? Are you looking for the best stock vanilla Android phone in the budget arena? This is your phone. So if you fall into a purist, an Android purist that wants an iPhone-esque build in, kind of Galaxy-esque build for a great price, this is going to be your phone. So if you find yourself falling in the Android purist and you like this design, go ahead and pull the trigger and get this device. Person number 4. Are you a person who wants to get a nice device for a teenager, a child, a brother, a sister, or somebody who just is a family member or a close friend, and you want to gift them, but you don't really have the money to go ahead and get $800 gift, but you also do not want to disappoint them as well? This is going to be a great device for that situation. And let me also do number 5 while we're in here. Are you a person who just broke their iPhone 6s, LG G4, G5? You have a flagship device that you just dropped and cracked the glass, and your investment is now gone, and you own the device with no insurance, and you need something premium to hold you over until you can get the next big thing. This device is going to probably please you quite a bit. So we did person number 4 and 5 in here. So if you found yourself falling into any of those categories that I mentioned right here, this is your device. And I'm going to go on a limb and say for $150, there is no better smartphone Android device than this. Now I'm talking brand new, unlocked. We're not talking go on eBay and get an S5 or go to an old flagship. We're talking a brand new, as of right now, April 25th, 2016 phone. Now I know they do have the BLU Vivo Air, they do have BLU Vivo 5, they do have the Huawei Honor 5X, the Huawei GX8. I know they got those devices, but those devices are $50, $100 more. And if you do the Amazon, if you don't have Amazon Prime, the shipping will jack the cost up even more. So I will leave the link down below to this device. You can pick it up. And that pretty much is going to wrap this review up. My personal opinion, after all this, my take. For me, because I use flagship devices, this one kind of disappointed me, and just because from my perspective, and this is just me, I'm comparing it to things such as an iPhone, a GS5, a GS6, these more flagship level phones, this phone is really not on their level, but it's a really nice, you know, it's like nowhere near the budget phones that we had years ago. It's like, I'd say if an iPhone 6S is a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, this phone is probably like a 6 or a 7, as before the, you know, the budget phones would be like a 3. They would be garbage. Now we're actually getting something that's very similar to a flagship experience. So that pretty much is going to end this. I know it was a long review, but it was intended to be a long review to help everyone out and have the most in-depth one-stop shop on the BLU Life One X. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you all in